Alrighty guys, before we start today's video, I know this is gonna sound a little bit weird, but thank you guys for over 9,000 subscribers. By the time I posted my last video, I didn't hit it yet, and now that it's been a couple days since my last video, we're nearing 10,000 subscribers already, which is absolutely insane, so thank you guys in advance. I don't know if we'll hit it by the end of this video or by the next video, but it's right around the corner, so I got some pretty nice things planned for you guys. But regardless, today I'm talking about Modern Warfare 2 and if it's worth your money to buy if you haven't bought it yet. And now that it's officially been a week since launch, I feel like I have a pretty good idea about this game now. And by the way, if you haven't seen my last 3 videos, I highly encourage you guys go ahead and watch those videos because I detail quite a few issues that this game has. And yes, those are gonna heavily influence my answer to this question: should you buy Modern Warfare 2? And right off the rip, because I know so many people are hesitant to get this answer out, no. My answer is no. You should not buy Modern Warfare 2 right now, but that's the thing, I don't think you should buy it yet. And I want to make it a point right now that I'm not here to simply hate on Call of Duty or on the new COD, because there are some good things about this game. There are some things that I do actually enjoy, but with the state that the game's in right now, I can't in good faith tell anybody or recommend anybody to purchase this game and spend over $70 on it minimum. Not in the state that it's in right now, and I'll say it again, this game was not ready for launch. There are tons of issues, tons of graphical errors, tons of bugs, tons of weird design decisions, and a whole slew of other problems revolving around Infinity Ward as devs right now, where if you haven't purchased this game yet, I honestly recommend holding out until at least bare minimum season 1, and that's putting it out there generously. I assume I'm not the first content creator you've heard talk about this game, but in case you haven't heard, the UI for this game has to be one of the worst things I have ever seen in my entire goddamn life. The menu screens are confusing and it looks like you're scrolling through a movie because, well, the person that created the UI is actually somebody who created the UI for Hulu, which is a streaming service for movies and shows, not video games, where you're supposed to be a lot more interactive. If you're somebody who likes to play with friends, as I do, have fun with that because it's not really the best experience at the moment. And again, this is probably going to get fixed, and Infinity Ward has actually already reported fixing this, yet I am still having problems with this, and a lot of people in my comments section still tell me that they're also having problems with this, where if you're partied up in a party of 3 or more, especially if it's cross-platform, you're gonna be experiencing quite a few freezes, quite a few crashes. If you're on PlayStation like myself, I experience blue screens very often. If you're on PC, you're getting scan and repair very, very often. And if you're not experiencing these issues, consider yourself lucky because I've dealt with them since launch day and it is still happening at the exact same rate that it was before. And this one is a bit picky, but of the launch maps that we have, one of them is missing, and I'll get into missing content in a minute, and 2 of them, at least in 6v6, are Tarak, which is not a very good map in my opinion unless you're using a sniper rifle or an extremely long-range weapon, and the border crossing map, which I can't stress enough, and I know some people disagree with me in the comments, but I firmly believe this has to be easily in the bottom 10 maps in Call of Duty history, going against maps like Ramaza, Azir Cave, Gustav Cannon, USS Texas for some people, Euphrates Bridge, and maps like that. This map is genuinely like really fucking bad. But like I said, that's kind of a nitpicky one, but there is one major issue that is really preventing me from recommending this game. But before I say that one, I do want to give this game some props and some praise in areas that I actually think are pretty good. And when I say pretty good, I mean it's like a very general aspect of all Call of Duty games where it's a very arcadey game, even though they're trying to go for this whole milsim thing. Shooting your gun, being able to run around corners and gunning somebody else down, getting a headshot, all of the key aspects of Call of Duty where you just run somewhere, shoot, kill them, and then go run somewhere else and do the exact same thing. It is very satisfying in a game like this where the engine and the sound engine are so smooth that I can't help but actually enjoy myself playing this game when things are going well and when I'm not noticing the millions of bugs that are plaguing this game. On a very basic level, this game as a Call of Duty feel-wise, it's pretty satisfying. Now I know a lot of people out there call me a sweat and they say that the gameplay gameplay is sweaty, how am I complaining, this and that. Oh, you're just complaining because you can't slide cancel, you can't bunny hop. I am playing this game without those mechanics, and I'm having a very easy time playing it because the game's not very difficult to pick up, and I'm doing just fine without them, and I've never actually complained about those things ever. I never had a problem with it because, again, at the end of the day, it's a Call of Duty game where you just run up somewhere, shoot somebody, and go on to the next, and you just repeat over and over and over again, just like every other Call of Duty. It's very satisfying, and that is one of the main things I think this game actually does very well. And although we're missing a map, and some of the maps are not very good at all, I'd say some of the remaining maps are actually pretty fun to play on. But again, those are very, very basic aspects of what makes a Call of Duty good, or what makes a COD game recommendable, if that's even a fucking word. And ultimately, even though it has a good foundation, it is being heavily ruined by not only some of the decisions and the bugs and glitches and issues that I mentioned earlier, but the fact that this game is missing so much content, and some of that content that was promised and it's not here at launch. I simply cannot recommend this game to anybody because, to put it simple, if the game's not ready to be launched, why would we pay $70 for it? Now, myself as a content creator, of course I'm gonna pick up the new COD. I'm definitely not fucking pre-ordering for an extra 40 bucks. I'll still pick up the game so I can review it, give my opinions on it, and see if I can influence other people to maybe buy it or maybe not buy it. And in this case, because there are so many things missing, I don't think you should buy this game. And like I said, maybe around season 1, if they update the game and put in more content and give us back the content that is missing, then yeah, maybe I would recommend this game. But as of right now, there are so many things missing, I simply can't suggest buying it yet. Some of the things missing, notably being the hardcore mode, which was promised to people day one and is not in this game. There's no split screen feature, which has been a feature since COD 4 and even CODs before that. There are missing weapons. I'm pretty sure there's 2 missing ARs right now. There's a whole map that is missing right now, being the museum map, which I actually enjoyed. So again, you know, negative points by my perspective because I actually do enjoy that map, and we can't even play it because apparently the designers for that map just stole it off of an actual location, which is a no-go in a lot of places, which actually, on another side note, happened to the Grand Prix map and the hotel map. So yeah, more negative points for Infinity Ward for not being creative. And one of the biggest missing features, and by the way, this has been in absolutely every single multiplayer Call of Duty out there ever, this game has no way for you to keep track of your stats. There are no barracks, there are no leaderboards, the after action report is bugged sometimes, you don't see what medals you're earning, you don't see what camos you're earning, there's no ability to see your combat record, you can't see other people's stats, and again, this has been a very, very simple feature that has been in every single Call of Duty game since you could play multiplayer. With all of these things missing, how can you possibly justify paying full price for something that is missing content? I also want to point this out, and this is not to be a hater or not to be over critiquing, but Infinity Ward themselves, the devs, have gassed themselves up multiple times for having 3,000 developers work on this game, for having 3 years in length to work on the game, responding to and fixing issues that we had and feedback that we had with Modern Warfare 2019, which did not happen, having every single development studio help out with this game. Yet if you were to picture all of the advantages and all of the things that this game had going for it in development, and then you see how the game launched, there is a massive disconnection that you could visually see and feel. And once you start seeing all the missing features and content, I just don't see how this adds up at all. So yeah, I can't really recommend anybody to buy this game yet if you haven't already, but the reason I'm saying yet is because this typically happens with the more recent CODs ever since 2019. Our multiplayers have just been releasing very, very mid and not very good, and usually around season 1, and for some games maybe like season 2 or 3, the game actually starts feeling pretty good. And I will say Infinity Ward has already addressed the UI system not being very popular, and they said they're actually going to work on this, which is good news. But again, it's not at launch where you're expecting everybody to pay full price for the game. So with that said, maybe by season 1 I would recommend the game. Maybe around Christmas time would be better since it'll be on sale. Maybe Black Friday since it'll be on sale and not full price for an incomplete game. And since this is a Call of Duty game with a 2-year life cycle, I don't think anybody should actually be in a rush to play the game. I mean, to be completely honest, especially considering all the missing features, I can't lie, you're not really missing out on much right now. For a AAA title to launch like this, I don't think is worth your entire $70. At this point, I do think it is a waste of your money, and again, maybe down the line, when things are on sale, or when this game is actually completed and filled with more content and cleaned of many bugs, then maybe it would be worth your money. But we're not there yet, so I couldn't really tell you. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. If you've played this game, do you think this game is worth buying? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos, and yeah guys, it's been the Scatmaster. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out this shit.